What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller. And welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from April 26, 2019. And this was the Go Home Show edition of Impact Rebellion pay-per-view, which is going to be on the Sunday on April 28th, 2019. They're in Rosario, Ontario. Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Your commentators, as usual, Don Callis and Josh Matthews. So, let's get to the show, shall we? And after I give you the review, I will give you the preview after this review. So hopefully you stay tuned after that one. I'm going to do a separate video. This will be the review for Impact Wrestling, and then I'll do another video where it pertains to the Impact Rebellion 2019 preview. So the show opened up with Eli Drake coming out to address why he did what he did to Eddie Edwards, his former tag team partner, saying that the old Eddie Edwards is gone, and even he couldn't get the old version of, he couldn't get the version of Eddie Edwards back. Eli Drake calls Eddie Edwards the weak link of the tag team and reveals that he's in the position of Kenny, the candlestick, and then he's got his microphone called Mikey. And the way he has microphone too is a standy. It's one of those type of standy microphones, except it's not connected to a stand. It's like almost like a Freddie Mercury type of microphone that Freddie Mercury always has with which is cool. So I thought it was a nice touch that Eli Drake did there with the microphone. And he says he was going to say something else basically, but then A-Hours comes out to attack Eli Drake, and they start having a brawl in the ring, and they start having a brawl outside the ring. And then they start fighting a brawl out and backstage, and they went away, and then we never saw them again. So I'm assuming that was the way to write off Eli Drake out of Impact Wrestling by A-Hours beating him up and everything. So hey, they gotta do something to write off Eli Drake. I mean, what else can they do to write off Eli Drake? Because Eli Drake is gone from Impact Wrestling. He's not there anymore. So it makes sense for what they did here. I guess they could do a storyline where Eli Drake's he could do this whole thing of an unsafe work environment once again. Not him being there to saying that, but Impact Wrestling could give us that message when we get to next week's Impact Wrestling show. That, or maybe for Rebellion pay-per-view, whatever. However they do it, either way they'll find a way. Hopefully they will find a way. I have faith in them. Impact Wrestling. I have faith in them to make sense of this. So yeah, Drake. I'm assuming this is his final time on Impact Wrestling, and there you go. There's to say about that. We get Ace Austin versus Aiden Prince. Highlights of the match: Ace Austin does a flip over the top rope to hit Aiden Prince with a cutter on the outside. He hits a modified swinging neckbreaker for a 2 count. Aiden Prince, avoids a top rope maneuver from Ace and follows it up with and allowing him to connect with a series of strikes. Prince jumps off the top and plants Ace with the face front onto the mat, and Ace goes to counter a 450 splash into an armbar and delivers a sick paper cut with the card, of his deck of card, the Ace card basically, while the referee looking and everything. And Ace hits the fold and gets the win over Aiden Prince. After the match, he started adding insult to injuries, and then Petey Williams comes out. He comes out to come to the aid of Aiden Prince and takes out Ace Austin. He's going to give him the Canadian Destroyer, but Ace Austin gets out of there. So now this match has not been announced yet. I'm assuming this match is going to be announced at the pay-per-view, which probably will be a wild card, and there's no way to call it too. But basically, I think this match will happen at Rebellion, but if it doesn't, then it's whatever. But Rebellion is gonna be in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, so it will make sense for this match to happen out there. But they didn't announce it though, on this show. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Happens when we get to the pay-per-view. So then we see what happened with Jordan Grace earlier on that day. She was at the gym, doing her workout routine, and then Taya Valkyrie brutally attacks her, crushing the weight on her, and then Jordan Grace is using her strength to pick it up, and then she goes right after Taya Valkyrie, and then she was having trouble with breathing at the same time. So basically, it was a brawl between those two at the gym. And then Taya Valkyrie got the better of Jordan Grace by giving her a DDT on the weights. And basically also hit her with a dumbbell and then DDT on the weights and everything, and that was it. And that was the final selling, the final build up for between these two for the Knockouts Championship title come Rebellion. So I thought it was alright. I mean they had to do something, because they barely build this up for represents these two, represents Taya and Jordan. So in a way it was nice. We go backstage and we see the Rascals. They had a note basically that led them to this location that this person want to meet the Rascals, and it was Moose. Obviously, he was in a suit, a nice suit by the way, not one of those colorful suits. Not one of those colorful suits, but just a regular classy suit. Moose is saying hello to the Rascals. Basically distracting them for an ambush basically of the North, which is All Ego, Ethan Page, and the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. So basically they beat up on the Rascals, and that was basically it for the Rascals getting beat up by Moose and the North. And it was announced later on in the night that the North and Moose versus the Rascals at Rebellion for the pay-per-view. So, and I'll get to more about the preview. Scarpa though, she announced this about she was wearing a see-through shirt. One side it says "pow," and the other side it says "wow" to cover her her nipples basically, but basically her breasts, that. But I thought it was nice though. But Scarpa though, she announced that she was going to be performing a live smoke show on the pay-per-view Rebellion. So I can't wait to see how that turns out. The smoke show that's going to be live. Yeah, we're doing it live. Yeah. We get one of the Undead Maid of Honor being covered by Sooyoung and the Undead Bridesmaid versus Rosemary. Basically, they was advertising that Rosemary was going to be in action. Just to let you all know, Kara Hogan was not on the show. She was mentioned on the show what pertains to and also Ali was mentioned name too, by the way. But even though Ali's not there anymore because she's part of AEW. But anyways, so Rosemary had a match. It was alright. Rosemary won. Nothing to say about that. And then all of a sudden she took away the Undead Maid of Honor, and Sooyoung allows her to take her. And I see myself, wait a minute, was that part of the deal? I don't remember them saying that it was part of the deal. It was never mentioned. It was never advertised, but I'm assuming it was. And Rosemary decided to adopt the Undead Maid of Honor, and Sooyoung didn't do anything about it. She just holds back the Undead Bridesmaids, even though there wasn't that much out there, but still. I don't know where they're going with this. Well, we have to wait and see, though. I don't know. It's confusing, folks. I don't know. Maybe we'll get more of that clear development at the pay-per-view Rebellion, if we do, but we'll see. Rich Swann, he goes to the OVE compound, and basically he runs to OVE, the Chris brothers, saying where Sami Callihan, and basically saying that Sami Callihan's not here, and he goes to check to see if he is there, and he's trying to find out if Sami Callihan is in the compound, but the door is locked and he can't get in there, and no one's answering. Basically, Rich Swann tells he basically reveals some secrets about his relationship with Sami Callihan, and calls out Sami Callihan. He's like open up the door and basically he's trying to get his attention if he was there, but no one was answering. No one was to be found. So also Rich Swann starts to leave, And then Sami Callihan also he walks out. He opened the door, but it was too late. Rich Swann already left, and Sami Callihan was drinking a beer, and then also he go back in there and starts slamming the door, and that was it. And that was basically the end of it. And this is supposed to be the final build-up, what pertains to for the match at Rebellion for the X Division Championship. So, we get Killer Cross versus Willie Mack. So highlights in the match: Willie Mack hits a big splash in the corner. Willie connects with a swing blade for a 2 count. Killer Cross was who avoids another splash attempted by Willie Mack. And hits an over the head, but basically overhead throw, basically in a way, like a belly to belly type of move. Killer Cross, he's got that beast strength, Sorry for that killer, and also that killer strength. He's also got the killer instinct, But anyways, Killer Cross continues to on the pound away on Willie Mack. Willie Mack will not back down. He's getting all pumped up. Willie Mack hits the German suplex, but Killer Cross, no effect of that German suplex whatsoever as he gets back up. And killer instant, but Willie Mack hits him with the Samoan drop, goes for a kip up, goes for a moonsault. But Killer Cross basically reversed the follow up moonsault. Goes for, as he caught him in, basically with the cross jacket, which was pretty nice the way it was done too. And then Willie Mack trying to get out of it, and then also Willie Mack passes out. Basically, Willie Mack did not tap out; he passed out of the cross jacket that was applied by Killer Cross. So Killer Cross gets the win, and yeah, the match itself was pretty decent too. So yeah, there you go. I need to mention this too. I didn't get to talk about it the last time I did the Impact Wrestling review, but the Dineros did some segments, which it was entertaining. Basically did 2 segments. And again, of them, making their debut, and this is the time for them to make their debut. So the Dingers finally makes their debut. They went up against Okay, Joe Coleman and Idris Abraham. So yeah, so it was a tag team match, obviously. The Dineros, which is Cody and cousin Jake, and I thought the match was I thought it was solid for what it was. And the Dineros were entertaining, and they were entertaining me, obviously, but. Yeah, no, I was to say about that. I want to see more of this. Hopefully they'll fight another tag team that that could go to miles with them, but we'll see. But yeah, I thought it was a good debut for the Dineros. Oh god. So we get the Beach Trash World Champion from Trash Town, USA, California, Johnny B. Trash, and the Trash Out Champion. Well, actually, I was trying to make some funny. I was trying to do something clever with that, but nah. But the Knockouts Champion, Taya Valkyrie, and John E. Bravo, they're in the ring addressing about Lance Storm being the special guest referee, and basically saying about what pertains to Johnny versus Cage at Rebellion. That Storm is good friends with Johnny, and that Storm helped train them back in OVW, and also Storm trained Taya Valkyrie, which Taya Valkyrie did cut a promo about that she was a graduate of Storm Wrestling Academy. The Storm Wrestling Academy. So Lance Storm comes out, and basically Lance Storm let them know, we are friends and everything, and he's like, but he's not gonna be he's not gonna do anything funny or suspicious or basically he's gonna call down in the middle, and basically he's talking down on Johnny Impact, saying that you should be talking down on the fans, and everything, because Johnny Impact was doing it again, which is why he's trying to be trash, which is on the promos, and basically Liam Storm said, if I could be serious for a minute. I love how he says that, even back in the days of WCW. So Liam Storm basically let them know he's going to call down the middle to be a professional, to be biased, and yeah, and then this did not sit well for Johnny Impact and Taya Valkyrie. So Taya slaps Liam Storm, her former teacher, and Johnny is going to do a super kick, but I mean, I remember if he tried to go for a kick, but then Lance Storm, he basically ducks from it, and then he gives Johnny Impact the super kick instead. So basically, Lance Storm super kick that piece of trash, Johnny B trash, to the trash can. Not really, not literally, but just want to make a joke out of that. But yeah, Lance Storm, he fought back, and he's basically making us convince us that he's not going to turn on Brian Cage, which I have my doubts. I still believe it's going to be a swerve, folks. Just because Johnny B. Trash and Ty Valkyrie were having this disagreement with Lance Storm in the segment does not mean that Lance Storm is going to be biased. I think he's going to be unbiased. I think he's gonna screw over Lance Storm is gonna screw over Brian Cage so that Johnny B. Trash could still be the B. Trash World Champion. And I'll talk more about that when I do the preview. But we get to the match, which it was the B. Trash World Champion Johnny B. Trash teaming up with the World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix versus Brian Cage and the LAX, which is Santana and Ortiz. Highlights of the match: Pentagon takes out Cage, but when he goes for the tag, the Phoenix basically, Impact, or should I say B. Trash, decided to tag himself into the match. So Johnny B. Trash went for a springboard spear, but he botched it by going on the second rope, because he's doing a springboard. Basically, he's going to hop himself over the ropes to go for a springboard into the ring, and then goes for a spear. But he botched it. He kind of fell off the rope, and then he's too mad to hit the spear, but he botched it though. I was cracking up. I was dying laughing. I'm like, yep, Giant B. Trash. Ortiz kicks B. Trash through the ropes on the floor. Pentagon goes for the fire over the top. He collides on both Ortiz and B. Trash on the outside. Santana next to fly once he goes to hit the lay swanton to the floor. Cage goes on the outside and moonsaults, do some moonsault to everybody on the outside. Phoenix goes to do his sky's huge springboard corkscrew move that he does, where he jumps on the ropes basically because he's the king of the ropes, just like Grand Metalik is the king of the ropes too. And he goes basically goes for a springboard corkscrew on the outside, and then Johnny B. Trash holds up Santana as the Lucha Brothers hits their inside super kicks. Johnny B. Trash goes for his I'm trying to remember how he did it. I think he was going for his running superstar press, but then he botched it too from there. And it's like, oh my god. Johnny B. Trash was being trashed in this match. He's botching all over the place. But I was enjoying it though. I was enjoying him botching. And then he finally hits his Ortiz with a 450 splash, but Cage breaks it up, and then Cage goes for to put to try to put Johnny away. With some move that he's trying to do, I'll admit to Brian Cage botched it too. I didn't know what he was trying to go for, but it was obviously a botch. So I got put a blame on Brian Cage in this one. I can't put the blame on Johnny B. Trash anymore for this one. This time the blame goes to Brian Cage, but didn't matter anyway because Johnny Bravo decided to pull the referee out on the which was the kid referee, which that's what they call him by the kid referee because he looks like a kid. you know, a teenage kid basically, not an actual kid, you know, almost like a teenage kid, but still. But yeah, they took that referee out. Um, because Johnny E. Bravo and Ty Valkyrie is outside the ring, you know, for Johnny B. Trash and the Lucha Brothers, while Conan was out there with Brian Cage and LAX. So Cage grabs Phoenix, but Pentagon clubs him over the head and with a steel chair. That caused Brian Cage to bleed, by the way. Now I don't know if he was bleeding either from the back of his head, but I don't know how is that even possible. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something on the part of the chair club on him in the back, or whatever. But hopefully it wasn't a deep cut. But by the looks of it, it looked like it was because there was some blood that was coming out. But hopefully he's alright. So, meanwhile, we get a preview of Lucha Brothers and LX doing some moves. I mean, taking out some weapons, you know, outside under the ring, ladders, chairs, meant to say, you know, a prime example of the Full Metal Mayhem match that they're gonna have at Rebellion. So Johnny B. Trash is swinging and missing on Brian Cage with the chair. Brian Cage goes for the weapon X, gets the Drake out in the win. So your winners are Brian Cage and LAX in the this go home show. And this worries me. This better not mean Brian Cage is going to be losing at Rebellion. But I'll talk more about that when I do the preview. But there you go, folks. That was Impact Wrestling from April 26, 2019. This was the Go Home Show edition. So there you go. Talking about wrestling for Impact Wrestling. Five matches for this Go Home Show Impact Rebellion 2019. And my overall strength for the show, the show was alright. I mean, it could have been it wasn't better than last week's show, but at the same time, this was supposed to be the Go Home Show, so this felt like a generic show in my opinion. I was thinking about giving it like a 4 out of 10. I think I was gonna give about 4 out of 10. But because of the botches from Johnny B. Trash, which that made my night. I was dying laughing. But which is why I had to put it up. Because I did enjoy that though. So I'm gonna go with 6 out of 10. And that's the best I can do. And there you go, folks. That being said, thank you all for watching. I'll be doing the preview at this one. But for now, it's Natural Born Thriller saying peace on the streets.